Right. So now we are live on YouTube. So everyone joining us from YouTube, thank you for joining us. I am Shweta and I will be your host for today's webinar. So like I was telling the audience who joined us from Zoom, it would be great if all of you could introduce yourselves in the chat because we love hearing from all of you and understanding your background as well before beginning this webinar. Okay, so I can see few responses. Good evening. Hi, Pooja from Bangalore, Sham from Gujarat, Shamita from Udupi, Vinayak from Maharashtra, Hariom from Mumbai, Vinod from Bangalore, Ajay from Mumbai, Anjanay Sharma from Delhi. Thank you all for sharing your responses. Hashir from Kerala, Lalita from Chennai. So we have people joining us from across India, and that's a wonderful audience to have. So thank you all for taking the time and introducing yourselves. We will surely start the webinar shortly. If you could also let us know your background, that would also be great. Akash from West Bengal, Hyderabad, Vineet Pratap Singh from Fatehpur. That's such a wonderful audience, and thanks for such great responses. Today's session is going to be really informative. We have an amazing speaker joining us today, so you should be ready for a really insightful session on cybersecurity and also the IIIT Bangalore program that we are offering. Ketan from Karnataka. Okay, all right. Vinay from Haryana. Very much excited. We are also really excited to have you all with us. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for the great responses. So, without taking much time, I'm going to talk to you about today's agenda. So, here's what we'll be covering. So, first, we're going to be talking about why cybersecurity is booming in today's times, the scope of cybersecurity, the exciting roles that you can pursue in this field. And then we are going to get into a discussion on how difficult it is to get into the cybersecurity space, why DIY learning often does not help learners transitioning to cybersecurity, what are some of the certifications that are crucial, and how can you get those certifications? And finally, we will also talk about the IIIT Bangalore Advanced Executive Program in cybersecurity. And we'll also let you know about the enrollment steps and the early bird bonus. We'll also end with a Q&A session towards the end. So it's going to be a really wonderful session. And before we move on, I just wanted to check with you how many of you have attended Simplylearn webinars with us. Is this your first time? Have you already attended webinars? I would love to know your responses. Okay, me. So have you? You can say yes if you have attended. If you're a first timer, you can probably say first time. First time, yes, I can see a lot of first timers and also yeses. So thank you for those responses. For anyone who's joining us for the very first time, I'll quickly tell you about Simplylearn and what we do. So at Simplylearn, we have helped 8 million plus learners advance their careers, and we are present in more than 150 countries across the world. We have 1,000 plus qualified trainers and 40 plus global accreditations. And we also partner with universities and industry partners, as we have industry partners as well, like you can see. And one of our university partners is IIIT Bangalore, and we are going to be talking about that program today. And one thing I would like to highlight here is that about your experience with us, we are rated 4.8 out of 5 by our learners, which also speaks about the kind of experience that they have with us. And everyone who completes the course, most of our learners have reported a 50% salary hike on completing a course with us, and we have a graduation rate of 85%. So this would probably give you a pretty good idea about Simplylearn, I hope. And I do not want to spend much on this slide because I'm also waiting to dive into the webinar. Before we get into the webinar, a few ground rules. It won't take much time. So if you have any questions, I request you to put them in the Q&A box. This is because we might miss out on your questions if you share them in the chat. And we will address your questions towards the end of the webinar because we do not want to disrupt the flow of the session. Apart from that, please use the chat box effectively and keep the conversation relevant to today's webinar on cybersecurity. And please refrain from sharing any external links or WhatsApp groups. Please do not share your personal details also there. And regarding the certificate of participation, we will be sharing a form towards the end of the webinar. What you can do is fill up your full name and you will be receiving your certificates within 24 to 48 hours. Within 2 days, you will be receiving your certificates. So these are some of the ground rules, and try to stay focused on today's webinar. This is not going to be really long. We'll keep it precise and we're going to deliver a lot of value. So please make sure that you're not checking your phones and you're focusing on today's session, right? So before we begin again, just one quick question. What is the biggest challenge that you are facing in building a cybersecurity career? This would, you can tell us your responses in the chat, because without, we would love to know your challenges, and we'll also try addressing that in the coming slides or probably towards the end of the session as well. So could you please share that? What are some of the challenges that you are facing? Okay, it's, I can see a few responses. Okay, so someone has said don't know where to start. Okay, and breaking into cybersecurity industry. I can see a few responses from YouTube as well. Don't know where to start. Okay, so we will be sharing that in the coming slides. Starting first time, new branch in tech, so don't have the experience. Right. Okay. So for all of these challenges, we have a few slides coming up. So we hope we can give you some clarity on that as well. So thank you for your responses. So moving on, I will quickly introduce the speaker for today's session. And this is also one of the most exciting parts of the webinar, where we get to know our speaker. I am really happy and thrilled to introduce Dr. Harish. I'll give you a brief idea about Dr. Harish. So Dr. Harish brings a truly global perspective to the session. So he holds a master's in computer science and technology from India and a PhD from Australia. And over the years, he has made a remarkable career across cybersecurity, networking, data communication, and also data centers. And what's really fascinating is that he has personally worked on and also solved numerous corporate, financial, and even cybercrime cases. So the insights you'll hear today come straight from real life experiences, and all of his work experience can be probably shared through his insights. He currently leads Global Cyber Corps as both CEO and CTO, driving some incredible work in cybersecurity innovation. Dr. Harish is also deeply passionate about building India's cybersecurity ecosystem. So it's really wonderful, and it's a privilege to have him with us today. And I would like to welcome Dr. Harish. We're really thrilled to have you. Thank you for joining this session. It would be great if you could introduce yourself. You're not audible, Doctor.
Am I audible
Yes,
now?
yes, you are.
Okay, all right. So, good evening, all. Thank you, Shweta, for the introduction. It's nice to see you all. I think a lot of people have come on with a lot of questions and a lot of futuristic thought process, and I would probably be able to give you some of my insights and experiences, probably what I've gained in the last about 15 years of time, which is continuously being moving, where cybersecurity is today what we call them as a field that is in the state of motion. So when I started pretty much a few years ago, or a decade and a half ago, it was not cybersecurity, it was more network security. But today we have AI in cybersecurity. So you could see how much the domain has improved. And I'll probably be most, if I'm more interesting to learn from your background at the same time. And keep posting your questions, I'll be able to read it, and then I'll keep giving you responses at the same time.
Thank you for saying that, and thank you for that wonderful introduction. I'm sure that everyone has a lot of queries regarding cybersecurity, regarding some of the options that they can choose in the field, some roles that they can have. So we will surely cover that in the coming slides. But before we begin, I think one thing that we all agree with is that the cybersecurity space is booming, and it would be great if you could share your thoughts on why the cybersecurity is booming and what is the scope of cybersecurity in the coming years. So we would greatly appreciate your thoughts on that, Dr. Harish. Okay, so I think Dr. Harish is having some network issues. So in the meantime, if you guys could tell us in the chat what you think is the scope of cybersecurity, that would be great. Do you think that the industry is going to be booming, and why so? There's a lag. Okay, I can see a few messages. Okay, we are just checking that in the backend. If you can give me a minute, I will just check. Okay, cybersecurity is the future. Right. So while Dr. Harish, in the meantime, we'll wait for him to be back. We'll see some of the trends in cybersecurity in the meantime. That will also give him some time to fix his network issues and join us back on the webinar. So right now, if you see that, you can see on the screen that the global cybercrime damage is 10.5, projected to be 10.5 trillion by 2025. And the ransomware costs projected are at $265 billion annually by 2031. And as you all might already know, the AI-based attacks have tripled since 2023. So you can just imagine the kind of scope cybersecurity has in today's time and age. And every 39 seconds, a new cyber attack occurs globally. And I'm pretty sure that all of you, or at least a few of you, might have come across some cyber crimes, especially in today's time. Uh, this is quite prevalent, and they come in all forms. And having solid knowledge of cybersecurity is going to be really helpful in the coming years as well. So right now, when we talk about the scope of cybersecurity, there are 3.5 million unfulfilled roles worldwide, and so there is definitely a scope for this field in the coming years. And I think Dr. Harish would be the right person to be sharing more insights on the same. So if you can give me a minute, I'll just quickly check with him and be back. Thank you all for your patience. He will be joining us in a minute. I just checked with him. So, yeah, I can see a lot of responses. Yes, the reason is because the world is moving to technology, so crime will increase. Hence, cybersecurity is growing. Cybersecurity is important because it protects data, system, and networks from theft and damages. Right. So, these are all really relevant points, and the rate at which cybersecurity is growing can open up a lot of new roles in the field of cybersecurity, right? So, is anybody currently in this field, or are you all transitioning, or are you new to this field? I have seen in the introduction that a few of you mentioned that you are completely new and you're a part of this webinar to understand more about the program and how you can transition. So it would be great to know your background here. So you are all okay. I can see a lot of new members. Anyone with experience in the field? Very much new. Okay. So we will probably be able to help all of you who are presently really new to this space. Okay. IT principal, architect, new to this, but interested to know about it, new. Okay. All right. So thank you for sharing your insights on that. We can also quickly take a look at some of the roles that you can pursue in this field in the meantime. Commerce background, MBA in finance. Okay, great. Thank you all for sharing your responses. So, there are some exciting roles that you will be able to pursue in this field, and we'll also talk about that in the coming slide. So, as you can see, these are some of the major roles in the field of cybersecurity. which are cybersecurity analyst, penetration tester, security architect, threat intelligence analyst, and chief information security officer. So these are some of the major roles and opportunities that are currently in the field of cybersecurity, and you can also see the growth estimate in the coming. Uh, I think Dr. Harish has joined us. Dr. Harish? Okay, I think he still has issues. So we will continue with the growth estimates that we were talking about. So as you can all see, you will be, there's an average of like 8% growth in the field of cybersecurity analyst, 10% or more in the field of penetration tester or an ethical hacker. This field is actually coming up in the coming days. And then security architect or engineer has a growth estimate of 9%, and threat intelligence analyst at 11%. And
So I'll take it up. Am I audible?
yes, you are audible.
No, I figured out the
Yeah.
problem. Zoom is not able to handle two devices. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah, absolutely understandable. This happens. So that was completely all right. So I was just asking you about your thoughts on the scope of cybersecurity in the coming years, and also some of the roles and opportunities in the field. So we are on the
Right.
slide for cybersecurity roles and opportunities, but we would definitely love to know your thoughts on the growth and scope of this field.
So, okay. So apologies guys for the tech glitch. So this is the first problem that I always say. When you're going to learn cybersecurity, you will have to start living with the world of tech and tech glitches ideally, because applications that gets created are being tested pretty badly. I think most of us have that experience of doing that, right? Uh, we've all been forced to use applications that are available in the market. Unfortunately, Zoom is one of its kind, right? They keep updating it, they keep adding AI, and they keep adding MS also into it. So not only this application, pretty much every application today claim to say that they are bringing an AI component into it, then the testing goes for a toss. So that's exactly where we have problems also being created in the field of security. So anytime when you keep adding module, then it has to be really, really tested well, as simple as that, right? So I'm not sure how many of you are aware that Google Play Store, we are all aware of what Google Play Store is. Google Play Store was put down by a Turkish hacker twice a decade ago. Okay, I literally mean that. You can also go and do your research on it. It's not just one off, quite a number of times. And many of you may be Google Chrome users, and you can see that Google Chrome is releasing updates almost every alternative day. And every alternative day, they are trying to add a feature. That feature is coming up with 100 different bugs, and they are trying to release update after update after update. So any application for that matter today, when you're trying to add a feature, it must be tested properly for the features. And when the feature is functioning properly, then you'll have to test it for vulnerabilities ideally. So that's where the cybersecurity domain is. I don't see an end to the domain at all. So today we cannot live without IT. Exactly the same way, cybersecurity is also like that. So it's been 15 years for me, and I'm pretty sure another 25, 30 years, I don't see a problem at all if you're going to choose this domain now or you've already been in the domain, right? That is definitely what my answer would be to all the participants. And of course, I've got a few questions too. Do you want me to answer that, Shweta?
Yes, definitely.
All right. So yeah, everything is in cloud. I don't deny that. All right. And people who are working with cloud, that is also getting critical. Protecting it is definitely very important. But how do we really protect that? That's the billion-dollar question that we all have today. One another thing, and I've also seen one another person mention that been working in information security for the past 13 years. Yes. So 13 years of information security versus what we are doing, trying to migrate it to cloud. And some of the companies are now coming back to cloud. That's also started happening already. So we're talking about domain interchange, right? Well, domain change is one. We are talking about domain interchange, which is also taking place today in terms of getting into the security parameters. So numbers is one. And at the same time, how are we going to tap it at the back and then say, hey, okay, this should not be a problem. We can just get to resolve it by following 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as a step. today's 1 to 5 steps are not going to be the same tomorrow, guys. So it's just going to be fast changing domain at various junctures. And of course, a commerce background. Today we've got a serious requirement in the cybersecurity, because cybersecurity is taking a different leap with DPDP. I'm not sure how many of you are not aware of DPDP. So it's Digital Personal Data Protection Act, DPDPA, which has come in about a couple of years ago. We've got the rules released on January 5th, 2025. So we are expecting that pretty soon, likely. And transitioning is also going to be very easy for a lot of us, because we all get to hear the news first and then go to understand the concept. The domain is always being like that, unfortunately, today. Go back 10, 15 years ago, we used to read everything from somebody else and we get to process it and then go back, understand or read more. But today we get to know about it, half cooked, half volley kind of things, and then get to try and understand or imagine that this is what the concept is, and the concept goes completely wrong. So that's also another understanding which is pretty much stabilizing cybersecurity today. So these are some of the experiences that which we have, which a team has, which our faculty team has. So there are a lot of understanding, a lot of requirement that keeps coming in. Technically, operationally, it is being pretty challenging at the moment. So that's definitely my answer to some of the questions here. Any specific questions? Feel free to go ahead with that.
Yes, thanks for answering all of those questions. And I also wanted to let you all know that please share your questions in the Q&A box, like I mentioned, because if we are taking those questions up, we will be able to address them easily towards the end of the webinar, and we won't be missing out if you share it in the Q&A box. Right. So that also brings me to the next question. So we were going through the slide on the roles and opportunities in the field of cybersecurity. So could you help us understand it better? Could you tell us the scope of these roles? What are some of these the most prominent roles, and what would you suggest for a fresher who's transitioning to this field, or even someone with experience transitioning? What is the kind of role that they should be focusing on?
Sure. Before that, I'll just give a bit of understanding on the pillars of, we call them general pillars of cybersecurity. Okay.
Right.
So we generally categorize 4 pillars. So pillar number 1 is networks, where network security. Pillar number 2 is application security. Pillar number 3 is more of governance, risk and compliance. We call them as GRC. And pillar number 4 is monitoring, where the security operations, continuous monitoring, forensics, most of these things comes in the 4th pillar. Right? So all these positions are in alignment with some of the pillars or individually into a pillar. So I'll give you an example, whatever that's there in the slide, and then give you probably a bit more extra information in line with it. So cybersecurity analyst is a position where you can be an analyst in network security, you can be an analyst in application security, you can be an analyst in every domain possible. Okay, you can also be an analyst in GRC today, because there is something called as a risk analyst, a new position that is actually coming up, and people are generally being called as cybersecurity risk analyst. So it's all pretty much the same level. Most likely entry-level positions are called as analyst, and then eventually senior analyst, engineer kind of positions will keep growing on that. Penetration tester, ethical hackers being there for a very long time, still continue to have a good big time requirement. But individually, if you're just going to be a penetration tester, ethical hacker, not well received today, because AI is making the distraction. So you will have to understand penetration testing. Then you'll also need to understand domain specific knowledge. Could be network knowledge, could be some, if you're interested in coding, you can get into application security. If you're not interested in coding, you can still continue to stay in network security and learn some simple scripts that you can keep writing. Because today we are driven by, though we are accepting or not accepting, it is the world of AI which has already started, and we already started experiencing it. So it is definitely required for us to practice scripting. Simple scripts will always take you to the next level, else you will end up being on the supporting position kind of things. That's also possible. Security architect, pretty high level positions. As you can see, the salary range gets you there. So I've in fact become a security architect about say 7-8 years ago. I was lucky because I started picking up security early, so I was called an architect early. But it doesn't happen with everyone. Today, you got to have the experience of about 15-20 years for you to even call yourself even a junior architect, because there are plenty of people who are already present. But the domain is sincerely requesting a lot of architects to come in, because designing the network, designing applications, designing the processes are really important, and it is a position. Threat intelligence is generally been required for security operations. We call them threat intelligence, threat hunting, a malware analyst kind of positions are more specific to incident handling kind of things, or security operations, which fall on the fourth pillar of monitoring. CISO, we all know a person who reports to the top management, who takes responsibility, accountability kind of things. There are quite a bit of other positions also being there. We call them application security. In fact, the program covers you to enable yourself to be an application security tester, where there is a serious opening that is available, right? And you can also understand the current tools and invoke AI into it. And there are scripting that is available. You can learn machine learning from this program. And because of that, you will also be able to connect not just one role, you can connect multiple roles, right? So you can do not just one single thing and then say, hey, no, I don't know many other things where the technology is moving fast. You can always be able to learn a couple of things where you can intersect it at one point of time. And that collation is something which the market is kind of requiring at various junctures. So this is just a combination, whatever that's here. I'm just bringing you a couple more things into place to make probably more clarity, because I've been practicing it for quite some time.
Yes, thank you for sharing such great insights. I think even the pillars gave us a comprehensive understanding, and you clearly elaborated on the roles one can pursue. So that was really informative. Now that we actually have a good understanding or a basic understanding of some of the roles and some of the pillars, what are some of the skills that are crucial for someone transitioning or starting a career in this field? So if you could share your thoughts on that, that would be great.
Okay, so I'll give some 3, 4 probably examples. Okay.
Sure.
Somebody who is from a management background, say BCom, BBA, MBA kind of backgrounds, who wants to get into cybersecurity, then you can easily be able to get to a GRC that's more relevant, more connection oriented domain, because more of process, more of regulation, more of policy, procedure, protocol kind of things that eventually comes in. And it is, see, any domain, you're going to switch it, it's not going to be easy, right? You will have to put your efforts that are seriously required. But in this case, you can do by applying common sense into it. I'm not sure how many really talk about common sense, but cybersecurity is completely been driven by common sense straight away, right? Imagine yourself driving on the streets, right? And you are thinking that the person who is driving before you, right, who is going to drive straight, but he's taking a right without turning his indicator on, right? That would give you a bit of a fumble, right? That is what should be avoided in the field of cybersecurity. So if you're going to apply common sense more, obviously logical skills will come into picture. So this is one example. Probably people who are into core domains like electrical, electronics kind of things, they can look into the analysis position. Multiple levels of analysis are required. For example, today we are talking about incident management being a huge domain where they can pick up incident management alone, try to understand whatever that has happened. For example, if an electrical engineer wants to get into cybersecurity, incident management is definitely an appreciated workaround, because in electrical, we know when you turn on the switch, there is electricity supply comes out. When you turn off, you don't. So you know the risk in terms of operating it. So incident management is a domain where people who understand risk are required from any other domain for that matter. So it could be electrical, it could be electronics. And if you know some of the coding standards there from both the domains, if you have done VLSA kind of designs or done some codings or programs, then you can easily pick up application security. You can still become an application security tester, which is still a hot cake in the market from a job perspective and also from a skill perspective at the same time. Somebody who is being in the domain for 8 years, 10 years, being in the support position, wanted to get going, networks would be an ideal choice. One level to it. IT engineers, obviously network support position would be an ideal choice, where you can pick up network security of it, start to configure devices like firewalls, L3 switches, load balancers kind of things. Those are similar to network, similar to IT. At the same time, it does require a bit of extra care that you will have to start giving in. The only thing is your interface is going to be changed. A few more protocols you may have to learn from networks and also from application. Again, not a very big difference. And if you're not from a CS domain, even more easier if you're starting fresh, because you can start from what is cybersecurity, what is rather we will call them what is information security, and then get to learn what is cybersecurity as such. So to be a leader of 15-20 years of experience, you wanted to get yourself into cybersecurity position. Yes, try to understand risk. If you are able to get there, you can become a leader, because there are not many leaders who has got brains applied to it. Unfortunately, sorry to say that, but that's the harsh reality. All right, they've been driven by P&Ls, they have been driven by pressure. So that may not be there for somebody who's migrating at a later point of time, because the intentions, the interest would be very high in line with it. And again, red team scaling is there for everybody. Red team, blue teaming skills, it's more of where you have to trigger attacks. But I'm also giving you a caution, guys. If you're just going to rely on red teaming, I think you're going to be missing out something really big, because red teaming as a domain is going to be narrowing it down. We used to work with 20 penetration testers 7-8 years ago. Today, we are only operating with 1 or 2 penetration testers because of the inculcation of AI. Red teaming in AI is seriously making a difference. And if you want to get into there, then it is going to be machine learning algorithms operating with techniques that are straight away there. So this is definitely my I'm not saying this is what is the only thing that's there, but I'm just giving you some of the examples that you can probably pick it up from the questions and from the slides I've just connected there.
Yes, thank you for sharing all of those details. Those were really informative and really insightful as well. And I think you did mention about AI right now, and I saw a question in the chat or in the Q&A box that was quite relevant. So I'm just passing it on to you. So the question was that AI is generally booming, and as AI comes into place, is it worth taking a course up in cybersecurity? Will cybersecurity still sustain, or are they going to lose jobs in this field as well?
Not really. We used to call automation. Okay, today automation as a word is being replaced by AI in the field of cybersecurity so far. Okay. Yes, there are things that are bringing into place. You need to be cautious in 2 things. One, start to learn coding. Okay, that's one side where if you're a coding learner, you like coding kind of things, yeah, then you don't need to worry about AI at all, because you will be creating those AI in one line. On the other side, where detection mechanism, where AI is coming up very nicely. So I mean, in terms of thought process, learning cybersecurity and working with AI will be the ecosystem in the next 5 years' time. So without basics of cybersecurity, because without the concepts of cybersecurity, you will not be able to apply AI. It is like I know how to use a steering in a car, but I don't know which is a brake and which is a accelerator. All right, and then by all ways and means, I'm actually trying to figure out what is a clutch, but it becomes an automated vehicle, right? So you need to know in which vehicle you will have a clutch, in which vehicle you will not have a clutch. So for that, you will have to understand the concept behind it. So without cybersecurity basics, you will never be able to play in AI, and you don't need to worry about jobs at any point of time as long as you keep learning. In cybersecurity, it's always being there. You just have to keep learning yourself. So whatever we learned 2 years ago, it's obsolete today. That's unfortunate.
Right. Thank you for answering that, and also for pointing it out with an example. I hope that this helped clear a lot of queries that all of you may have. And so that also brings me to one crucial question. I think I came across this as well, and we are covering that in the next slide. So there are multiple certifications out there in the field of cybersecurity. So Dr. Harish, I would love to know your thoughts on the importance of these certifications, especially for someone transitioning into this field. How relevant are they, and should one focus on certifications at this point in time?
Okay, so see, certifications are useful, obviously, but there's positives and negatives to it. Okay, to be very clear on that. So I own about 15 certifications in the market today. But if you ask me when was the last time I wrote an exam on the certification, it was 2014. So it's been 11 years since I've not written a single examination. Apart from the ISO standards that keeps updating, you will have to keep updating yourself for that particular requirement. So as simple as the working. If you are wanting to prove yourself, yes, then certification is going to be seriously helpful because you will be seen unique in a lot. Definitely, yes. So if you are getting new into the domain or if you are doing a transition, how do you prove that you are someone who has the knowledge? Then yes, certifications are going to be the X factor for you to give you the additional 1 mile of leap where you will be able to reach the finish line. That would be the straight one. But for certifications, right, you don't get to prove your hands-on. I think that's what the slide also written. I didn't read it honestly on that case, but I'm glad. So today on the other side, certifications are also become commodity. So please understand that, right? So when you're doing your certification, please go through the concepts clearly and then go through the certification. Because I've known a lot of people who own Humpty number of certifications, but it's pretty empty inside. They only go prepare for the certification using dumps, go and write the exam. So that knowledge is not going to help you. Maybe it may help you fetch your job, but it may not help you sustain. I think a lot of people keep asking, will I be thrown out if AI is coming in? If your concept is strong, you don't need to worry about AI at all. So as simple as that. See, AI, in fact, I'm not sure how many of you really agree to it. So far, it's been 2 years plus. I've never logged in, not even once, to ChatGPT or any of the AI platforms so far. Not even once. And I teach AI today. So this is just to give you a difference. Because AI is also common sense. AI is also driven by authors where it is peer-reviewed initiation. And for anything and everything, it has now become a new Wikipedia. Right? 5 years ago, whatever you want somebody to get to learn, the first answer will be Wikipedia. Wikipedia, you will read the first 2-3 lines and get to understand, everything on that domain. And that has now become the new AI, I would call it. But you can use AI effectively, efficiently. But you need to learn prompt engineering for doing that to the next level. But again, people keep asking it, don't lie. You've never gone into it. I'll give my laptop. You can actually come and have a look into it. You would not be able to find out any history related to that. Of course, you can always say that you could have deleted it, but unfortunately, no yet. Because I feel people who are using just AI, they started using AI for everything. They become seriously dull and dumb. If you want to venture into cybersecurity, I'm not saying don't use AI, please use AI, but use AI only when it is required. It's like a horn in your bike, cycle, car, something like that. Only when then somebody is coming in between and you just press it. Not like when nobody is there on the roads, you just keep honking. Don't do that. I've felt that in many cities right now in India. Don't do that. I'm seriously telling you that.
Yeah.
Okay, no negative parts, but yeah, that's harsh reality.
No. Those were some really, really interesting insights as well. I think even I have not come across anyone who does not actually use ChatGPT. So that was really great to know from your end. And I'm also a person who uses it often, so I'll keep your point in mind moving forward. To take this forward, there are now that we were talking about certifications, and like you clearly mentioned, it's not just about certifications, but the amount of knowledge that you have and the knowledge you can apply on your job. One question that commonly we get is that there are multiple certifications out there. Which one should I choose? So could you briefly give us an idea of all the certifications in the field of cybersecurity and which one to prioritize or how one can go about it if someone is completely new to this field?
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Again, going back to the pillars, guys. Okay. So if you want to get into the networks related offensive, networks related defensive, you will have to typically pick A plus, N plus, CompTIA kind of certifications, right? There's another certification called CND also available. So these are the certifications that are related to the networks part of it. Okay, you can also pick up CompTIA, CISA plus. Okay, pen test. Those are again. There are two concepts to it. Pen testing can be done on networks, can be done on web application, can be done on mobile application. And you can also do pen testing like DDoS attack kind of things, so specialized penetration testing that are exist. So depending on the domain. So whatever in fact you see on the slides on the list of this, except CompTIA, Pentest, and CEH. Rest of the certifications are probably the three one, CompTIA, Pentest, CEH, and OSCP. It does require application knowledge, basic application testing knowledge, like we call them OWASP, Open Web Application Penetration Testing kind of things, okay, project. So we need to be aware of, okay. So when you say open web application security project kind of things, that is where application security will come in. So depending on the domain that you want to choose, you will have to pick your certifications. And in case you want to pick up risk and compliance kind of things, then you will have to probably go into ISACA kind of certifications, where there are certifications like C-Risk, and you want to get into governance, there's a certification called CGIT. And it is more of, if you want to become an auditor, Chief Information Security Auditor kind of position, Certified Information Security Auditors, so you will have to pick up CISA, CSAM kind of things. So CSAM is for technical people, CISA is for generally auditors. So depending on the domain that you want to choose, right? I mean, a lot of people come and say, hey, I really don't know what domain am I good at. That is also a common question that will come up. For that, you will have to understand every domain's basics. Then you'll be able to choose, okay, this is where I belong to, right? Once you get that level, then you pick up your certifications. So that is going to seriously give you a different edge. Again, with knowledge, do the certification, and you will be easily be picked, because every company has got requirements, and every point of time about 15,000-20,000 jobs posting that are still present in the job portals. But how come every time there is 15,000-20,000 jobs that are still being opened, right? And companies keep hiring, companies keep firing. But how often people are being fired from cybersecurity positions? You will have to ask that question. I'll tell you, when company run out of their projects, they will ask people to leave, or a person who's not good enough, then they'll ask people to leave. But more often it will be the second one. Companies going out of projects are very rare today. I can guarantee you that part. So if you are not updating yourself by the concept with certification, and of course the domain that you want to choose from, one of the pillars, then you'll be able to arrive much easier. You can see everything has got a beginner, advanced, intermediary levels. So you can also choose and pick and choose which you wanted to get into. I think that will start to give you a better understanding on angles, but for which you will have to understand 360 degree of cybersecurity.
Right. Thank you for that explanation. And I hope that answers a lot of your queries related to certification. It depends on the field that you are in. It depends on what you want to focus on as well. Here again, on the slide, there are a few more certifications mentioned. And I think you can definitely take a look at it once you have a better understanding of cybersecurity. And for anyone who's asked about the notes and the slide deck, we will be sharing that along with your certificates. So I just wanted to clarify that at this point. And now that we already spoke about the skills, the pillars of cybersecurity, how one can get into this field, a common notion that our audience or participants usually have is that it's very difficult to get into cybersecurity or to transition. So in your opinion, Dr. Harish, is it that difficult to transition to this field, or what are some of the challenges one may have if they're interested to transition?
Okay, it is definitely not tough. I can give you one-line answer for that thing, not because I am into the domain for a long time. I've seen people finding it difficult on where to start. I think a lot of questions are also similar to that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Where to start? And how fast I can transition, I can perform the transition, I can move. I think that is the wrong question, right? Because you're out of your current position, or you don't like the manager, you don't like the company, people are thinking to transition, or somebody come and say that, hey, I'm learn cybersecurity, I'm earning better. So these are definitely not a good approach in terms of getting in, is definitely my suggestion. Of course, everybody's thought process varies, guys. Okay, so one line, I've been teaching for about last say about 12 and a half years, 13 years now, and I've been a practitioner more than that in all levels. It includes institutions, corporates, large enterprises, government, multiple governments, not just I'm not talking about national governments, I'm talking about international governments. I've been working with international governments for a decade now. So understanding or getting into cybersecurity roles it is definitely evolving. It is definitely constantly evolving. In fact, I start with the introduction, said that we are in a field which is in the constant state of motion. So it will definitely be confusing. And the problem statement is where to start and structured level of learning. So you will have to go in a sequence, like 1, 2, 3, not like, oh, no, I know I've learned it in my some video, so I will go directly to 3. No, the same introduction that we give for a computer science course versus a cybersecurity course, same slides, no change in the slides, but completely different ideology. A computer science student will always look at from building something. A cybersecurity student will always be looking at either from defending or initiating an attack to a attacker. So it should be both ways. It's like army. Like you will need to know how to use a knife, right? But when you're in your kitchen, you will use the same knife for chopping. But when you're in your war field, you will know how to use a knife to stab. So it's exactly the same way. You will have the same tool for everything, but you need to know where to use the tool effectively. So that is the difference. And mentorship, continuous reach out, continuous questioning. In no question is called a stupid question in the world. Please understand that, right? And if you start to feel yourself, oh no, if I'm going to ask this question, somebody's going to think bad about me. I think that's not the right point at all. That's not going to help anybody at any point of time, right? What happens worst case if the faculty does not know the answer, it'll make you stand out of the class, right? If it is a physical class, that would have happened before, but now it's not the same case. Everybody who is coming here and teaching are well aware of their subjects pretty strong. So if you're going to ask me a question about how to write a coding language today, I may not be able to answer because I'm out of coding. It's been 10 and a half years now, right? So 10 and a half years, things have changed upside down, or maybe quite a number of times it has turned upside down. So I'm not the right person to answer questions related to coding or standards or something like that, coding level. But anything related to cybersecurity as such, right? Even including red teaming, including AI, including fuzzy specifics, we can still be able to answer that because we keep learning it. So hands-on experience with the right conceptualization, sequencing of the same with mentorship and structure-oriented programming is going to help you perform your transition much faster. But I'm telling you that faster is completely based on individual capability. It's not based on anything else. How much time are you going to put into it? How much time are you going to be investing in terms of understanding the concept and knowing how to use the concept elsewhere? That's where you are what you are pretty much. So time and the speed, the fast, all these kind of words becomes individually connected. I put that word very specifically so that somebody can migrate in 3 months time because they've got a background of something else. Somebody takes 9 months to do that. That's not a way, right? So I think I've got a question to Shweta. I want to change my domain, healthcare to IT domain. I think that's seriously important today because healthcare is improving in India big time. I'm not sure how many of you are aware. PII, personally identifiable information, is including first name, last name, date of birth, mother's maiden name, father's maiden name, address, PAN, Aadhaar, passport number. Every other thing is becoming PII, including IP address, just to let you know. So in that case, we also call every healthcare data, hospital data, diagnostic center data to be under a category called as CII, critical information infrastructure. So when you're talking about healthcare, if you know where those data lies, then you are seriously required in that domain today. So you just have to understand the basic concepts of how these data is being kept, data being stored, data being handled, data management from cybersecurity angle, a very slight layer of cryptography. I think you will be a big rock star in pretty soon.
Yes, I think you already you answered that question as well. So I hope that clarifies the query. And apart from that, I think a few questions related to this. You mentioned coding, so there was a question: is Python mandatory? Should one learn know the basics of coding to be eligible to join the cybersecurity course? So if you could give some insights on that.
Absolutely no, not required at all. You can come with a fresh mind. That's the only thing we always call when you are attending any program, not only cybersecurity, any program for that matter. You need to know how to unlearn because that is the biggest enemy today. You keep watching your Insta reels, you think that you learned everything, but somebody is asking a question, you don't know which reel is what. Like it's like carrying a bit in your examination and you don't know where that bit is being kept. Right? I don't know how many of you can connect to that. Right? So you write a wrong answer even looking at the bit because you don't know the context behind that particular question. Are you looking at somebody who's sitting in front of you and whatever the person is writing, you're writing the same answer, but he's actually a biology student and you're a computer science student. I've seen these things happen before. So it is more of connections, it is more of clarity that is going to help you. So definitely coding is not required in the first instance, but if you get to learn it over a period of time, yes, it will be of great help. But I'm not a coder. As I said, I'm not interested in learning coding anymore at the moment. One of the main reasons is because I'm an architect on this separate domain. So I still design applications. I still work out on the logic behind application, but not sit and really do a coding. I've got a great fleet of amazing guys who does this coding much better than me. So you'll have to first feel that, okay, people are always better than you. Then you will be able to learn better.
Right. That was such great advice, and that's also a mindset one has to develop, and this that would probably help anyone learn more in whatever field it may be. So thank you for sharing that wonderful insight. That also brings me to a question for the audience because we want to hear from you now. So you already have an idea, basic idea on the kind of roles in cybersecurity. So if at this point we ask you, what are some roles that you are interested in the field? What would you respond? You can share your thoughts in the chat. It's just so we know where you are at, where your thoughts are, and it's always nice to have an interactive session. So share your thoughts in the chat, and we would love to see your responses. Associate, analyst,
Okay.
L1, as a fresher. Any more responses, guys? Cybersecurity analyst. For fresher, where do you have to start? We will come to that in the coming slides. We're going to quickly cover that. We're not going to take a lot of time. Just to ensure that you're all with us and we love seeing your responses. Penetration tester. Okay, great. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all your responses. We hope we help you reach that role in whatever way we can. We will also try to give you great information on this as well. So one thing, so now we already spoke of roles, and you are kind of choosing the roles that you prefer from whatever understanding that we have through the webinar for anyone that's new here. So one thing that almost all of us do initially is whenever we are interested in a field, we tend to go to YouTube or free tutorials, and we try to, learn it by ourselves, self-paced learning and self-learning. And with YouTube and so many sources out there. Now, information is almost everywhere. Though scattered, it's everywhere. And we do not always think about if the information is relevant, is it in depth, the sources. These are not things that we actually think about sometimes. Dr. Harish, from your experience of actually teaching so many students out there, what are some of the challenges one may have when they try to learn cybersecurity by themselves, and how can structure and mentorship, you did mention about mentorship earlier, but if you could add to that and let us know what are your thoughts on self-learning when it comes to cybersecurity, and what are some challenges that they may face, especially when they're new to the field.
Yeah, one simple question, where to start? That's
Yeah.
always the first problem. First problem is always that, right? Anything to start with, you need to know what it is. So that is the first, I mean, second problem rather. Then real world examples. That is another very big difference in ways. And which concept to first understand, which concept to do later, right? If you see a book, right, you always go by chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. What if suddenly you get to see the video of chapter 3 and you get confused and you start to hate that language, right? Or hate that subject. So it is like, I'm not sure, I'm just asking this question. How many of you are aware why did you all learn, or anybody who learned during your school of differential calculus, integral calculus, kind of things, differential equations? Anybody know why did you all learn that? Any idea? That's a problem statement. Yeah, you will not generally have an answer. No, it is not a problem solving things. It is to reduce the size of a bigger problem and perform operation, test it. It's like a trial. And when you succeed, you can deploy that into the bigger size. That's why differential calculus, integral calculus, differential equations are all being taught. No max teacher knows this. No max teacher explained this. That's exactly the problem statement. So you will encounter exactly similar scenario when you want to seriously, you do want to DIY yourself, do it yourself in cybersecurity. And I've seen a lot of kids today who think they really know what they are. They've become bug bounty hunters. They've made some $2,000, $3,000 also in cash, and they come for interview and they miserably fail because they only know two things, and they were pretty lucky. They were hitting it again and again and again and again on the same thing, and one of the websites opened up, and they've got their bounty. So what I could learn from these kids, we generally hire them because they're good in perseverance. So that is the point. So the moment they're good in perseverance, we generally take them, but that is also the harsh reality. So never do DIY on, especially cybersecurity. There are quite a bit of domains where you can do DIY, but not in this. And real world experience, you will never have it. Not by somebody talking about it, not by reading some news articles where there is a hack that happened in Qatar, or where there's a hack that has happened in Uttar Pradesh. So it doesn't matter. You can only read it as a newspaper article, not to feel it how this has happened. So you need to know the reverse engineering process of the same thing, right? So you know how pencil is being made. A lot of us still not aware of it, right? But we still continue to use the pencil, but we know how to use the pencil effectively. As long as you know how to use a pencil, you don't need to know how the pencil has been manufactured. But usage is very, very important to be aware of. For you to do a DIY, you need to know the usage. And that is exactly where the problem statement is. And tutorials, I mean, self-paced tutorials without concept understanding are only confusions.
Right. I think that actually puts everything into perspective, and you already covered the main points of how not having a structure and not knowing where to start is the main challenge one faces. So, thank you for your insights on that. And for everyone who did ask us previously about how you can join and where to start, I think we will cover that quickly in the coming slides. I won't take much time on that part. So, now let's explore the program that we are offering. So this is how the IIITB Advanced Executive Program in Cybersecurity can actually help you. So I'll quickly take you through the slides and some of the advantages that you can have if you enroll for the program and if you're a part of the program. So first, like you can see on the screen, you start with a comprehensive curriculum. So like Dr. Harish mentioned, it's always important to know where you're starting, the chapters. Those are very important stepping stones while you are in a field like cybersecurity. So you will start with a comprehensive curriculum that covers both defensive and offensive security. Dr. Harish will be talking about this in the coming slides, so I'm not going to go in depth into this. After that, you will also earn an industry recognized certifications, especially when you're new to the field. We spoke about the relevance when you are new and when you have to talk about experience, and that also adds to your credibility. So you are gonna gain some certifications from not just IIIT Bangalore, but also from Microsoft and CompTIA, which are globally valued credentials. And also for everyone who asked us about AI and how AI is going to take over, as a part of the program, we have also integrated generative AI into the curriculum. So that will probably be a big differentiator in cybersecurity in the coming years. So like Dr. Harish mentioned, it's about how much you learn and how much you can apply. And if you know how to use generative AI in this field, of course, there's scope and there's more growth, right? On the career side, you will get full AI powered job assistance. So resume optimization, mock interviews. All of this will be provided by our team. And one of the add-ons that you have is live instructor-led sessions with experts who are going to give you real insights, and you will be able to interact with them, ask them your questions, get their feedback, and improve as you join us in this program. And finally, it all comes together with the career growth support that we provide. I will also speak a little more about that in the coming slides. Dr. Harish, I would actually love you to hear your thoughts on this. How does you're also a faculty of IIIT Bangalore? So, how do you think this program can help someone who is new to this field, and what advantage could they get out of this course that we offer?
Sure. Remember, when I was explaining about it, I said about the 360-degree angle that is being covered, right? That is definitely this program has. Because it talks about networks, it talks about cryptography, not from a mathematical angle, from an application angle. It talks about application security, and of course, the most important, AI, right? And it also talks about security operations. So you can get an idea of pretty much everything, and you can arrive at your place how you wanted to proceed to the next step ideally. So it has hacking, it has got analysis also, which is after an incident, right? The connecting factor is also being there. So this is typically a level where if you don't know scripting, you can get in, because scripting is also part of it. If you don't know operating system, it is there. It has already been there. So imagine that you start with somewhere. There are two approaches. One is bottom up, and another one is obviously top down approach. In strengthening, we always look at top down approach because we start from the firewall, the gateway firewall, and then we go up to the endpoint device. Sometimes we follow both. There is one team which will follow top-down approach, the other team will follow bottom-up approach. So when you take up the bottom-up approach, it is the endpoint devices where you will have to harden a particular mobile phone, a particular laptop or a desktop or a pop top or a tab or anything for that matter, right? So approach is based on requirement. Approach is based on team size, but knowledge is completely based on yours. So you could see it starts from the word introduction to cybersecurity and threat landscape. It'll talk about what is what first. So you have no knowledge, just come blank. But the only thing is unlearn whatever you already know. Come here with your blank mind, then you'll be able to grasp it much faster. And it connects everything. See, I've told about the 4 pillars. All the 4 pillars are pretty much here. And at the end, it also covers the capstone project with obviously real world case study. So you will get to feel yourself that you are one of the technician who is sitting in terms of the operations. So that is an added factor. I would definitely be able to bring you into picture. And any specific questions in technical can be asked. And of course, a lot of you said you wanted to get into it. Then I think this is, I can say this is one of the best programs today in the market. And I've been personally following for various reasons. I compare a lot of programs in the market today because I'm also professing in other countries too. So we do have comparisons. I create the curriculum for Indian government PSUs and entities. So we do know exactly what is required in a plain sight, right? And what you are seeing right now, it is your plain sight for you to grab it and start moving forward.
Thank you for sharing that, Dr. Harish. And I hope all of you got an understanding of what the curriculum looks like. And for everyone who asked us where to start, this is a structured way to get you started in the field of cybersecurity. And like he mentioned, you will also have capstone projects and real world case studies that you will be working on. So I'll quickly show you some of the tools and skills that are going to be covered as a part of the program. We have covered more than 21 skills. You will be able to add this to your portfolio as well. I will not be reading it out because you can just take a look at it. And there's application security, enterprise security, machine learning, artificial intelligence, ethical hacking. So everything that we spoke about, everything like Dr. Harish mentioned, from the 4 pillars, all of the skills that are required are going to be a part of this program. So once you complete it, and not just for the certification, but once you understand the concepts, implement the concepts, work on it, get feedback, and improve on that, you are going to have all of these skills as a part of your resume, and that is going to give you an advantage, especially when you are new to the field. Like, you will have proof of work, right? And some of the tools that are covered, again, we have covered more than 20 plus tools as a part of the program, and you will be working with these tools on projects. So we have more than 100 projects that you will be working on. There are different kinds of projects as well. There are 3 capstone projects which we will cover in the next slide, but I just want to give you some context on portfolio projects as well. So these are solely focused on making your resume, making you ready for the next job or career growth, or promotion that you may require in the field of cybersecurity. So that is what we want to equip our learners to do after completing the course. So any kind of support, anything that you want in the field of cybersecurity is covered in this course. And like I mentioned in the introduction section, Dr. Harish is the CEO as well, and he, I'm sure, has been a major part of different hiring decisions as well. So I think I would like to ask this question to you, Dr. Harish. How often do you find, or what advantage does a candidate have when they have these skills and when they know multiple tools? Like, would they have an advantage over someone who is completely new, who's not using these tools? And how do you make these decisions, especially when you're hiring someone?
Obviously, yes, because you somebody has got tools, specific tools knowledge with the concept behind it, they are immediately deployable, right? So there are various different projects that we keep getting in. See, we are a research organization one side. So we do cybersecurity research. There are very, very few research organizations who exist in India, right? And for research, we keep doing things in a different way. But when it comes to projects where organizations comes and asks us for something to be completed, then for during that time, as a new requirement that comes up, if you are going to hunt in the market, then yes, those are the tools that we'll be looking at. Okay, the person is deployable. Somebody who knows LandGuard, fantastic. Somebody who knows Nessus, okay, I'm putting them into vulnerability analysis straight away. Somebody who knows the Metasploit and Nikto kind of tools, okay, I'm putting them into penetration testing directly. Because these are always requirement, always high in requirement in terms of working, and requirement keeps updated with latest tools, latest versions ideally. Whatever tools that are mentioned here are very simple in terms of understanding, at the same time very effective when you perform it in real time. So nothing is rocket science in this page.
Right. Thank you for that. Thank you for your insights. Like you mentioned, this makes you job ready in a lot of ways, and these are things that you can definitely add to your portfolio. I will also take you through some of the capstone projects that we have as a part of the program. So there are 3 capstone projects. The first one will be designing a secure file access and audit system for finance teams, and this is something that is very crucial and important. And once you have that experience, so this is not just a project in theory, you will be working on it and you will be adding this to your portfolio as well. So that is going to reflect in the kind of work that you do. The second one is simulating exploitation and remediation in vulnerable network, and the third one is deploying and securing active directory in Windows server environment. So we actually cover all of these, and the last one actually helps learners understand how to create secure access systems and that protect, and all of that. And the first one is how you can protect financial data, which is pretty crucial when it comes to any MNC or any company that you may have. So you will also be using tools like Nmap, Metasploit, all of those for implementing these projects. So all the tools that you saw in the previous slide, you will be using those tools to implement and work on these capstone projects. So you can take a look at the portfolio projects in the course page. We will be sharing that shortly with you in the chat as well. And one major question all of you had was, I am new to this field. How can I get in and what's the eligibility? So you should ideally have a bachelor's degree in any discipline with an average of 50% or higher marks, and you can also be from a non-programming background. The minimum experience required is 4 years. So these are the criterias that we have for anyone who's interested to enroll for this program. And if you are thinking about the relevance of this in the field of cybersecurity, we have a snapshot from LiveMint. It's a very credible source. So this program, like Dr. Harish mentioned, is now rated India's #1 course in cybersecurity. So you can imagine the kind of content that you might get, the kind of support and all the skills and tools that will be covered once you enroll for the course. And you can also understand how this will probably impact your career, because this is a major change, but you are doing this with the advantage of AI when compared to any other program out there, which will probably not equip you with the necessary skills to stay relevant in today's market. So without taking much more of your time, I'll quickly walk you through some of the advantages that you have if you're a part of this program. So the first one is peer-to-peer engagement. So you will be added to a Slack community and you will have the option to connect with your fellow peers and also your mentors. So you can share your thoughts, get feedback on your project. So these are some things that we do as a part of the program. Then the Flexi-Learn option. We understand that sometimes we just can't attend a session or we miss out on sessions, and that's completely normal. So we have recordings for those sessions, but we do recommend being on the live session so you can get your queries resolved during the session itself. And apart from that, a major thing that we provide is mentoring sessions. So you will be getting feedback from expert mentors from this field. You will also have master classes from IIIT faculty. So you can imagine the kind of exposure that you are getting from such a credible institution, from great experts who have practical knowledge in the field, right? And learning support. So once you enroll with us, if you face any kind of issues, you will be assigned a cohort manager, and you can reach out to him or her for any of your queries, and they will help you resolve this at the earliest. And then talking about career support. So once you complete a course, the next thing you worry about is how can I land a job and how can I do it? Will I get a job, right? So how we can help in this space is we have group mentoring and networking options. So that is something that our team provides. You will be connected with peers and industry mentors, and they will help you expand your network, and they'll also be sharing real insights about cybersecurity careers and anything that you can add to your portfolio as well. Then, learning about everything is one thing, and implementing it is another. Once you have all the knowledge, interview preparation is such a crucial part of appearing for a job. So we have interview preparation and assessment support. So these are basically mock interviews with personalized feedback. So by the time you actually face a real interview or real employers, you know what to expect and how to answer all the questions with confidence. Apart from that, you also get AI powered profile optimization. So it will help you fine tune your resume and LinkedIn profile so you get more job opportunities. And like I mentioned, mock interviews and mentoring we already covered. So you will be having multiple mock interviews and mentoring support. So going from not having any support at all to having a structured curriculum, great instructors, multiple projects, so many tools to cover, this could be a game changer in your career. So think about it. So I'll also us telling you about how great the course is one thing, but people actually talking about their experience is what matters. So like you can see on screen, we have shared two alumni stories. So Sai Naveen actually landed his very first job in cybersecurity after completing this course, and Amritansh Mishra also speaks about the kind of experience that he's had, especially focusing on the hands-on experience and the projects and tools. So he was also promoted to a senior position on completing this course. So this is a real life impact that this course has had. And if you go on to our course page, you will be able to see real alumni videos and testimonials that gives you proof of what this course could do for your career. It would be great. So we will share the course link in the chat right now. Everyone who wants to know more about it can go ahead and take a look at the course details and the curriculum. You also have an option to download the syllabus and get all the details. One important aspect of this program is definitely the program certificates that you're going to be getting. So first, you are going to earn an official program completion certificate. This will be directly from IIIT Bangalore. And as you all know, it is one of India's most respected technology institutions. So this certificate is going to be issued within 90 days of you completing your coursework, and carries full academic weightage of IIIT's program. And you will also receive a digital badge from Simplylearn. So this you can share on your LinkedIn profile. In today's time, we know how relevant and how important it is, right? Along with that, you will also get a Microsoft course completion badge and transcript through Microsoft Learning Portal. And one question that we get, I'm just addressing it. So IIIT Bangalore provides both digital and physical transcripts, so you can keep an official record of your academic progress as well. So these are some of the major advantages that you have as a part of the program. And we will quickly take you through the next steps. Also, in the meantime, are you all feeling confident about your career in cybersecurity? Let us know in the chat. And then I will take you through the enrollment steps, next batch details. I won't take much of your time, so just let us know. And what is the link? The link, this is the course link. So if you are interested to know more about the course, you can go check it out. So that's why we have shared that in the chat. Okay, I have seen that a lot of people are responding. Yes, you're confident. I'm really happy to hear that from all of you. So I'll take you through the enrollment steps. They are very simple. So first, you will have to submit your application. How can you do that? I will be launching a poll. If you respond yes, what happens is our team of advisors are going to reach out to you tomorrow first thing. Any queries that you may have regarding the course. Unfortunately, we won't be able to take up your queries because we are already 15 minutes late. We wanted to end it in 1 hour, so we won't be going on about the course anymore. You can clear your queries and doubts with your program advisors. And then you will have to share your profile and portfolio. And if you are shortlisted, you will be able to join our next batch, right? And when does the next batch begin? It will be beginning on November 13th. We just have a few more days left. Think about it. Think about the course, go through the course details, do your own research. You can also check out all the programs out there. We're really confident about what we are offering and the kind of value that the course provides. So ultimately, it's your choice to make. So take a look at everything out there in the market and make your decision as well. And before I launch the poll, I'll also tell you the price of this course. So the course fee is actually 2,32,000. You will have the option to pay this in installments as well. Yeah, and this is an 8-month course. So you can talk to your advisors, program advisors who will reach out to you regarding this, and they will be able to help you out with any of the payment options, any of the queries that you may have. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly launch a poll. If you are interested and would uh, like our advisors to contact you, please click on a yes and you will be receiving the call tomorrow itself. And because we have only a few days left for the course to begin, shortlisting will also happen quite fast. So you can talk to them about that as well. And try to join the first batch, I mean, the earliest batch, because by next year, you can become a cybersecurity expert as well. Right. So, in the meantime, as you are sharing your responses, I will also just take up a few questions that we received in the chat for Dr. Harish. You can go ahead and share your responses with us in the meantime. Right. Okay. So, I will start with a few questions. Okay. So, this I think we addressed is computer engineering must for architect role. I think I would still pass it on to Dr. Harish. The question is computer engineering must for an architect role?
It is in general, yes, because to be an architect, you must need to know quite a bit of things in networks, in application domains. So you can become an architect, but you will still have to learn. You will still have to do a lot of catch up. That is for sure. But architect is not the only position that pays you very high. Just to let you know, an incident handler gets paid $550 per hour. So that's also there in the domain. And of course, multiple other requirements keeps coming in. DPO is another position that is also going to come up very soon. Data protection officer.
Right.
So you just need to apply where you are standing, for which you need to understand what is cybersecurity.
Yeah, got it. I'm sure that answers that question. As AI is in huge demand, we did address that question. As you stay relevant and upgrade yourself, even though AI is in the market, you will still have roles. And Dr. Harish did speak about that. Um, Okay, so I see a few questions regarding certificates also. So I will quickly launch a certificate poll in the next 2 to 3 minutes. I'm just giving some time for everyone to answer the interest poll if you're interested to enroll for the program, and if you want a call back from our team, then please go ahead. I'll keep it open for another minute and I'll launch the next poll as well. I actually, Dr. Harish, we have a lot of college students join us today. And one thing about this program is that we've mentioned that they have to complete graduation and they need 4 years of experience. But just for their information, how can they start if they are freshers or they are in their final year of degree? What kind of work can they do to, where can they learn from, and how can they step into the field of cyber security for someone who's an absolute fresher?
The internship would be a good option to start with. Uh, I mean, try to go it into a company where they're really practicing security. Because there are two ways to it. One is practicing security, one is selling security. So if you're getting into a company who is selling security, you will not get to learn anything. Where there's no work as such, it just goes by the SOPs, right? But practicing security is seriously a good one, and I think quite a bit of companies also get uh, train people at various junctures. That's another very important thing. And you can also go by whatever that is being there as a curriculum for this program. You can learn in the same format. You may get to understand bits and pieces for you to enter into a company. Because what today HRs and interviewers are looking at is, do you have the attitude to learn being a fresher? So that is $1 million question. And you just need to answer one or two questions, and the rest everything is attitude today. And we have a serious problem with that.
Right. Thank you for sharing that, and I think that clearly answers all of your questions. This is how you can start on cybersecurity. Take a look at the curriculum if that could help you. We already shared the link, so you can check it out. So I'm gonna end this poll right now. If anyone has missed out and then you have second thoughts or you wanna still check it out, we have shared the course link in the chat. You can go there, you will see an enroll option, you can click on that, and you will also have an option to schedule a call if necessary, so the team will still reach out to you in case any of you have missed out on that. And I will also launch the certificate poll right now. It should be live for all of you and you will be able to see it. Please ensure that you fill up your full names. You will receive it in 24 to 48 hours, 2 days roughly. You will be receiving your certificates as well. I think we have taken up most of the questions. If you have any more,
I
please go
think
ahead.
got one. For
Yeah, yeah,
hands-on, yeah, for hands-on on Try Hack Me is a good option. I would say no, because with concept you get to try anything, will give you a result. So whatever you're trying to see in hand, Try Hack Me or anything, without conceptualization, it will not add any value. So yes and a no, but yes, directly it's a no. For direct hands-on, no. With concept-based hands-on, any labs for that matter is good to go.
right. I think thanks for that answer. There's another question. Um, does cybersecurity, so basically, is the cybersecurity syllabus applied for everyone in the field, like automotive, web, medical? Okay, so basically, is this, does it cover every field and anyone
Yeah,
who's transitioning from any field?
absolutely. Because what is being taught here is first to start with concepts and then goes to the methods with the tools. So it doesn't matter whatever domain you're coming from. You will have to pick what is directly relevant, and rest of the things are going to be indirectly relevant. So everything is there. Unfortunately, relevance here. So you will end up learning everything for sure, and then you design your requirement. I think based on what your field demands, vertical demands, domain demands.
Right. Thanks for answering that. So I think in the interest of time, we will not be able to take up any more questions. As you fill up your forms, I would also like to take this moment to thank Dr. Harish. Thank you for joining us today. I know it was such short notice, but your insights were really helpful, really valuable. I loved how you explained everything with examples also. I think that made such a huge difference. And it was a great and wonderful session and was great having you, and I'm so happy to have been the host for today's webinar as well. So one last question before we end this webinar. What is one advice that you would give to everyone who has participated in today's webinar?
Okay. Learn the concept first, go to the methods next, finally arrive at the tools. But everybody is doing backwards.
Right.
So concepts that will never change, methods that will partially change, tools that will always change. So you
Right.
know where you'll have to stay. Concept may become obsolete, that's fine, but it will still never change. Right. So that would be and if you get to follow that, it's going to be easy getting into cybersecurity. You will not face big time hurdles.
That's great advice. So everyone here, please focus on your concepts as well. And I hope this was an informative webinar for all of you. I am ending the poll right now for certificates as well. For everyone who's joined us, I would like to personally thank you all as well for joining us, for being so engaged with us, and for also sharing your thoughts, staying on chat. You've been a wonderful audience, and I loved hosting you guys. I really hope to see you all in the upcoming webinars. If any questions were missed, and if you want to enroll, like I said, you can go to the course page and you can check it out. So with that, we are coming to an end. I hope you all have a wonderful evening ahead. Thank you all for being a part of this webinar. So I'm gonna end this webinar
Thank you.
shortly.
Thank you all. Thank you, Shweta.
Yeah.
Have a good
Thank you
evening.
so much. Thank you.